Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be installing parking sensors on a Ford Fiesta. So as I said, we're going to be installing rear parking sensors on the Fiesta and on the back bumper here. They didn't come as an option on these cars, so we're going to be installing some aftermarket ones. So this is the kit we've got. It's made by a company called Dolphin. This is like a control module. So there's 4 parking sensors, A, B, C, D, and as you can see they're here. Just like that. And there's a speaker. There's some little rings for the end of the parking sensor. And then there's a power line as well. You do need to hook this up to the reverse light, but obviously I'm going to show you how to do that today. So yeah, tools wise, you probably need a socket set, a pair of snips, maybe some wire terminators. But yeah, we're just going to crack on, and you'll obviously see what tools we need along the way. So let's get cracking. So apparently you can do this without taking the rear bumper off. You can drill into it and pull the cables through. I think that's just going to be more hassle than it's worth. So I'm going to drop the rear bumper off. As far as I can tell, it's just a few screws. There'll probably be some in there, maybe in the wheel arch liner, and some underneath. But yeah, I'm going to pull the back bumper off because I think it's just going to be a lot easier to do it that way, so I've not got to try and fish cables through. Okay, so we're going to take the bumper off first. So as you can see, there's a screw there. I'm just going to follow it along. I've never taken one of these bumpers off before. Obviously there's a screw there. I'm going to guess there's some plastic clips in there. If we have a look behind here on the wheel arch, there's a bolt there. As you can see, there's a bit of a dip. There's a bolt in there, and usually if you ever see any of those dips, there is a bolt. So there's a bolt there. There'll be one on the other side. And it seems like that's it. I've just had a quick look underneath and I can't see anything. So yeah, I'm gonna crack on and get those bolts and screws out, and I'll catch back up with you. These screws are T25. So at some point we are going to have to take out these rear lights. Have a feeling they're going to be impeding us taking the bumper off, so I'm going to unscrew them now. They're T25s as well. So I'm going to take out the T25s on this side as well. And the last one down there. There we go. Now to get these bottom bolts out. Okay, so we're going to take these bolts out now. That one there is the one we need to get out. I'm going to guess it's a 10mm. I'm going to try and clean it up a little bit and then get it out. So it's actually an 11mm nut. In my case it was loose enough to undo by hand. So I'm going to go and try and do the other side now. So to take the rear bumper off these is actually a bit of a process. I'm obviously going to go through it so I can get the parking sensors right, but essentially you do have to remove the lights, which as you can see is a bit of a mission in itself. But this side now, it looks like there's a few more clips and stuff. I didn't want to do this, but I'm going to have to jacket the car, so I'm going to do that now. So first things first, as always, I'm going to crack off the wheel nuts. Could be a 19. So as always, first things first, going to break the wheel nuts. Side. So I've taken this wheel off. As you can see, it was an absolute mission to get off. Obviously undid all the lug nuts. I was kicking it for about 5 minutes. It wouldn't come off. Kicked from behind a few times, and it did. So that's sorted now. Let's see the other side. That one came off a lot easier. So it's actually a bit of a mission to remove the rear bumper. Obviously worth it to get a clean job, but yeah, bit of a mission. I'll show you how to do it now. Okay, so as you can see, obviously these are carpet wheel liners. They're really mucky, but there's a plastic clip just there, and there's one, and there's another one just there. Now they pull out with a pry bar, and that'll roll the carpeted liners back. So we'll do that now. If you're doing this at home, I definitely recommend washing out your wheel liners first, because the amount of dirt that comes out is unreal. There is actually another one of these plastic screws here, so I'm going to undo that. So the wheel liners are out. There's a little 8mm bolt there, which I've removed. There's a little screw there that I've removed, which just takes out this back reflector. You can leave that in, doesn't really matter. But then what you've got to do is basically pull this away, and there's these little clips inside here which you need to sort of pull off over the tabs. So I'm just going to show you how to do it. So you pull it and just poke the tab in. Just like that. And finally, underneath the cart, these little black tabs need to come out. On both sides. And there we have the bumper off. So I'm going to measure it up now. I'm going to show you how to do it, obviously. Measure it up and we'll get the holes drilled. So it recommends placing the sensors 30 centimetres apart from each other. So I've drawn 4 dots, 30 centimetres apart from each other. And they're where we're going to drill. So I'm going to go and get the drill now. Now this kit comes supplied with a drill bit, so I'm going to use the one they've given us. Actually specify which order you go, i.e. A, B, C, D. So I'm just going to go A from the left and put them in. So I'm pretty sure, just in case it's dropping them in, and they push fit, which is nice. That's D, so we'll put that in. Now, with this kit specifically, if you unscrew this here, pop it out. And you can see that clears up a little bit of the burrs around the hole. You could get a file in there and wash that out and tidy it up, but there's no real need to. So I'm going to put B and C in now. there we have it, 4 parking sensors fitted. Let's go and wire them in. Now just quickly before we do that, there's these 4 little rings in a little packet, and I'm guessing they go on the back to lock them in. The instructions aren't very clear for this kit, but yeah, that's what they do. So, put them on. I guess it just stops it from pushing out easily. There you have it. That's pretty much the hardest part, is obviously getting the bumper off, drilling the holes and getting them all lined up properly. But yeah, I'm happy with that. They're all in line, they're all spaced evenly. Let's get cracking on installing them. So next up we need to wire it up, obviously. So what we're going to do is I'm going to plug the light back in, start the car, or at least put the ignition on, put the car into reverse so we can see where the reverse bulb is, because we need to use that to connect the power and ground to the system. It uses the reverse light to tell when there's power, to know when to turn the sensors on, essentially. So yeah, I'm going to grab a helper and figure out which one is the reverse light. Okay, so we're going to sort the wiring for this box first. So as I showed before, there's this little control module box and it takes power, so you need to get power from the reverse light and ground from just a ground strap on. So we're going to plug the power in, just like that. So I have tested all this morning. I plugged it into my drill battery, and so I know it works, so we're going to test it in the car basically. I'm going to apply this 3M pad to the back. Just like that. We'll find somewhere to stick that in the car. Right, so we have had an absolute nightmare with this, but I've got it working. So when I plugged the wire into the back of the bulb, as it sort of said to do so in the instructions, we blew a fuse, and it was a 7.5 amp fuse. So we tried a 10, blew that, tried a 15, blew that, put a 20 in, blew that, put a 25 in, and it was fine. Obviously we didn't want to keep a 25 amp fuse in there. So what I've done is I plugged the multimeter into here and found out that the white wire is the live and the black was the neutral. So I've spliced the white wire and connected our live over there to it, and then connected the neutral to the control box down here, just nut and bolted it on. So it works, everyone's happy. If you hear it? So I'm going to actually route the cables up. There's a grommet under here, as you can see, and there is a rubber bit, but I'm going to use that grommet to bring all the cables up. I'm going to tidy everything up, all the cabling, probably time lapse it, get the bumper on, get the lights on, and yeah, it was a bit of a pain. Huge shout out to Owen, who obviously gave me a hand with it and said to me, "Is it the fuse?" And that's it, I was on the road track. So yeah, I'm going to get this sorted and button back up. So as you can see, obviously I've got the oil bumper and everything back on. I've sorted out the interior, just put everything back in, put all the carpet and everything else in. I've put the speaker for the system there, so it's easily audible inside the car. So I'll let you hear it now. So when you pop it into reverse, you hear it, that initial beep. As you can see, both reverse lights are on. If we come in close. So there we go, all good. So this side's all buttoned up, got the bolts in, and there's another one up there. Got all the clips in, so we're going to put the wheel back on. Okay, a few hours later, they're all installed, as you can see. I think they look quite good actually, for the price. I think they were 40 quid. So that's just letting us know that it's activated.
win. So yeah, obviously we had a few issues installing them, which wasn't part of the kit's fault, more so the instructions included with the kit. If you're doing this, I'd recommend splicing off the reverse light wire rather than plugging the power wire into the bulb socket and pushing the bulb in. That seems to blow fuses left, right and centre. So yeah, if you are doing this, splice the wire and do it that way instead. But anyway, I had good fun today. Really enjoyed doing this. Thank you, Jimmo, for letting me carry out the work. As I said, really enjoyed it. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. Go and check out my website, grindinggears.uk. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment below if you plan on doing this. I will leave a link in the description to this kit. As I said, hit subscribe, like, and I'll see you in the next one.